House open, what comes first? Do we seek out our art or know it from birth? When you were just an infant, did you see someone telling a story and think that should be me? Or did you realize you were good or thought it made you happy? We fell head over heels into doing what we love and become engaged in this vision like a calling from above, as if we had no control and we were destined to be that way. But evolution exists for a reason and destiny doesn't stay. We take steps without knowing exactly which way we're going. We're just thinking about making things or doing something great that people won't hate. To be a winner, like the original sinner in pursuit of knowledge of something we need to find but can't quite know until we go blow for blow through this gauntlet without falling behind. You find your seat and the house goes dim and you focus in and if you have what it takes to begin. It's a long road and we're not sure how far we'll go or if we'll end up in the same lane as we start or stop before getting very far. But there's already people on it who love to flaunt it, so you just get going without knowing it. It feels so fulfilling, being a part of something so thrilling that it makes people applaud some janky facade of real life without thinking that it's odd. And then it's sort of like smoking where you get that feeling and are just reeling from the rush and the hush that falls over the crowd and you start to chase it as if in a trance and you realize you're choking. So you take a step back and relax and start to enjoy the ride and take pride in what you're creating and what you've learned you can do, not just for an audience, but also for you. As the curtain rises, we get more excited about making a choice of what to do for our life. And it's fun thinking about finding your voice and your strength or your style while keeping your future at arm's length for a while. We find those like ourselves flocking together like elves in a field of common interest called a studio or gallery or theater or mental world of people suffering from the same sickness. We build relationships, trading and trying to do our best without giving up and crying. It's hard to be good at something so subjective because you realize at a certain point it's not what you expected. Everything that you do is also done by someone better than you, who's either wiser and older or even younger and bolder. Nothing is original anymore. It's all been done before by someone or other or everyone and their mother. Still, we struggle along trying to make something unique while avoiding the critique that it was actually just a tweak of something antique. The lights go up and the experience starts of getting out there and being involved in the arts. You're not just a person anymore, you're an artist. Maybe not the smartest, but you have a different way of life than everyone's familiar with, and are part of this legacy that becomes the stuff of myth. We see things differently, we live incidentally, but we love intently. And we're there for each other, like sister for brother, because we go through it together. Misery loves company, and artists love empathy. However, it does lead to tension that we don't like to mention when your friends are those competing for the same vocational ascension, and they're still your best friends, but competition knows no end, so we stick it out and ignore it, or sometimes talk about it and explore it, so we still get along and stick together through the throng. As you sit and watch the conflict unfold, the feelings you once had start to get cold. You get into the real world and don't know what to do because all you've been learning is how to get through in specific situations that don't always have real world application. So you get confused, feel like you've been bruised or overused or just less enthused. But still, the more you get into it, you just don't give a shit. You're in love with the spirit along with all the shit. You hate and you love it, but you hate to love how you love to hate it, but it's all fabricated. It's a convention we've created and turned into rules and systems made to seem more legitimate by conversation and creative pistons that push and pull you in a good direction that you hope will lead to a common perception of all it is you're trying to say or ask or display or unmask, and we fall head over heels for this circuitous motion of hate and then revelry, distaste, and devotion. As they say, absence makes the heart grow fonder, so when you're away, you're crying, and when you're there, you're dying. But the death is a slow one and is easily bored, while the crying is overcoming and hard to ignore. So you keep coming back for more. You watch everything come together for the climax of the show, and when you watch, it's easy to spot and go, whoa. But when it's real, it's hard to feel when you've reached a peak or are on a streak. You're an art factory that has to keep on producing, because if it slows, it loses momentum and then needs rejuicing. So it slips by as we keep trudging along through the denouement, where we start to realize what we've become and what we've done over the course of our life and what we created through our existence of strife. We can look back and recall as the curtain is about to fall that we've risen to the occasion and avoided all the negative persuasion. And you look back as a master of your craft and how you came through the fray to be the person you are today, without becoming a cliche whose work people look up to and survey. You've made friendships that would never fade away. You've made it down that highway and made so much headway in your forte. It is your heyday, and then blackout. End of play.